Christian video game. This article's tone or style may not reflect the encyclopedic tone used on Wikipedia. This article needs additional citations for verification. This article is about video games based on Christian teaching. For use of religious motifs in video games, see Religion and Video Games. A Christian video game, or Bible game, is a video game based on teachings of Christianity. It is a part of the larger Christian media genre and format. Definition: Christian video games are any game with Christian themes, although this is in itself a game genre. Most Christian games follow the gameplay of many different genres. This ranges from Guitar Praise, a Christian-themed rhythm game, to the shooter game Catechumen. Some Christian games with an evangelical purpose can be thought of as serious games, but most Christian games are simply entertainment for players who are already Christians or historically interested in Christianity. History. Many of the earliest Christian video games were written by the company Bible Bytes in 1982 for the TRS-80 color computer. That year, the company released 11 games for the computer, including such titles as Manna from Heaven, Moses' Rod, and Noah's Ark. These games were compiled together and released under the name Bible Computer Games. A citation needed. Several Christian-themed computer programming books, based on the original Bible Bytes Bible Computer Games source code, were written by John and Joyce Conrad. The Conrads were the primary authors of the first two books, while their son, Phil Conrad, was one of the original game developers and served as technical editor. The first basic programming book, Computer Bible Games, included the basic source code for the Timex Sinclair, Radio Shack TRS-80 color computer, and the Texas Instruments TI-99 computer systems. The first programming book was written in the fall of 1983 and published by Accent Books on January 1, 1984. These beginner computer programming books were designed to teach students how to write basic Bible computer games on their own personal computer. Since then, PC Enterprises and Bible Byte Books has published several computer Bible games programming books for Microsoft Small Basic, Visual Basic, Visual C#, and Java. All of these Bible-themed programming books were designed for Christian middle school and high school students, in addition to homeschool computer science students. Another Christian video game pioneer was Bernard K. Bangley, who wrote Bible Basic, Bible games for personal computers, with his son, David Bangley. Bible Basic was published by Harper & Row in December 1983. His book included type-in basic programs to create Bible games. The programs were intended to work in any version of BASIC, but the book included tips for adapting the programs for the Apple II, Atari 400 and 800, Commodore VIC-20, Commodore 64, and TRS-80, as well as extending and customizing the programs to make them more interesting. The Nintendo Entertainment System featured numerous Christian video games, though Nintendo's corporate stance at the time was that religious symbolism was forbidden. Nevertheless, even officially developed Nintendo products sometimes featured Christian symbols. For example, The Legend of Zelda featured a Christian cross on Link's shield. One of the first NES games to use overt Christian symbolism was Castlevania, a game which followed a Christian vampire hunter named Simon Belmont, who carried weaponry such as holy water, crosses that function as boomerangs, and a blue rosary which cleared all on-screen enemies. Konami released a game based on Noah's Ark in Japan and Europe, but it was never released in the United States due to stricter standards and practices at the time. Starting in the late 1980s, the unlicensed game developer Color Dreams, using the name of Wisdom Tree, developed a number of specifically Christian video games for the NES. In 2000, Catechumen was released by Enlightening Software Development. Catechumen is a Roman-themed first-person shooter video game known for being one of the most expensive Christian video games made. Citation needed. Enlightening spent nearly $830,000 during the development process, but reportedly the developers were disappointed by the sales. A citation needed. Catechumen had a spiritual successor released in 2001 called Ominous Horizons, A Paladin's Calling, which eventually led to the company's disbandment. The annual Christian Game Developers Conference, CGDC, was started in 2001 by Tim Emmerich, founder of the small independent studio Graceworks Interactive. The conference has been described as a place for Christian game developers to gather, make deals with other Christian game developers, and gain encouragement from developers with shared faith. In 2002, Sunday Software began developing and distributing Bible video games and interactive Bible story lessons for Windows XP to 10, primarily designed for use in Sunday school. Using 3D Game Studio, they created Bongo Loves the Bible, Galilee Flyer, Joseph's Story, Exodus Adventures, Attack of the Sunday School Zombies, and Faith Through the Roof, designed as lessons. These games included narrated scripture and questions presented on screen or spoken by 3D characters. Using Macromedia Director, Sunday Software also released several interactive Bible storybook programs for Windows, including Good Sam the Samaritan, Awesome Bible Stories, Elijah and Jonah, and The Ten Commandments, which features iPix photo bubbles shot on location on Mount Sinai. Most of these programs were subsequently donated to the members of www.rotation.org, a Sunday school lesson ministry where they can be downloaded for free. In 2006, Left Behind, Eternal Forces was released by Inspired Media Entertainment based on the evangelical Christian Left Behind series of novels. Left Behind, Eternal Forces was a real-time strategy game. Upon its release, Eternal Forces was subject to much criticism and controversy from various watchdog groups, claiming that it promoted religious warfare and bigotry. Inspired Media Entertainment went on to create 4 sequels to Left Behind Eternal Forces. In 2010, Inspired Media Entertainment merged with Digital Praise, creators of Dance Praise, and several other Christian video games. However, by the next year, Inspired Media Entertainment went defunct, and in 2013, the United States Securities and Exchange Commission made public their pending lawsuit against Left Behind Games under the allegations that CEO Troy Linden issued nearly 2 billion unregistered shares. In contrast to other Christian media formats, such as music, literature, and film, by the early 2010s, the Christian video game industry remained small and generally devoid of high-quality products. No large Christian video game studios existed, with most games being developed by small teams of developers instead. Though often lacking specific verifiable instances, a general fear pervaded some Christian groups that employees at secular video game studios were hostile toward Christians and Christian culture. Reception. In the 2000s and 2010s, Christian video games received much criticism for being lacking in innovation and gameplay mechanics because of focusing too heavily on getting their evangelistic message across. Some Christian games were criticized for being clones of each other. More popular games with Bible-related themes and characters simply reskinned over the top.